jumping this because we were supposed to run errands today, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to knit in the car. And so I quickly threw this on the Swift and the ball winder, and I wound it up. So guys, this is a good one. It's taking the socks to a different, like, bright. Look at that. How fun is that? You know what's funny? It actually looked greener earlier because it was so dark in my room when I was doing it. But now that I'm seeing it in this light, the lighting today is terrible. Like, it almost is already dark outside. It is so gray. But this actually has a more yellow, it's like a yellow green. Still, taking the socks to a totally different yellow. Different, like, brighter. Let me pull out one of our socks. Right there. What do you guys think? Look at that. That's gonna be a fun addition. I'm so ready to knit this one onto these socks. And again, can we just say how amazing? I'm so loving this pattern. Go check out Dana Rae Makes, like, literally. Just love her patterns. I own this one, and I own her Scattering Petals ones, and both of them are really fun. I recommend highly. And also, I ended up getting her Scattering Petals, like, gloves and her a cowl, and I think a hat. I could be wrong about the hat. I think I got the hat. Maybe she doesn't have a hat pattern yet. Oh gosh. Anyway, all I'm saying is I really like her Scattering Petals stuff. I haven't actually made the other ones, but when I saw that she released the patterns, I was like, oh my gosh, perfect. I'm gonna get them and have them ready for when I'm ready. But yes, how do we love this so much? Is that just look at those textures, and it's fun and it's interesting, and this is gonna look great on it. And I think we're almost to the heel flap. So now I've got to make a decision because I need to do 5 grams, and I don't think 2 heel flaps are going to equal 5 grams. So I've got to make the decision of, do I do a couple of, like, sections in this, then do the heel flap today? Or do I just do the heel flap, and if that's not equal 5 grams, then I really wanted the heel flap to be different. What should I do, guys? What should I do? The other thought could be I could take in one. So I've used up all of this. There's no more of this left because between the cuff and the zigzag scarf that I'm knitting in the background that you guys haven't even seen it yet, I've used up all of this between the cuffs. Now, so my other thought was I could maybe go with this red here as the heel flap, and just to give a little bit of contrast, I don't know. And just add this in as, like, the next color. So we're at 1, 2, 3, so 6. I gotta get 12 colors into this. I don't know what to do. I can't make up my mind. So I'm gonna go figure that out. I'll be back in a little bit, and we can, you'll see what I've committed to. Okay, so we got my sock done, and that was all 5 grams. So I have to actually decide on how much I'm going to put into my husband's sock, because I got to make sure there's enough yarn to finish that part of the sock. So I haven't made a decision on that. I might actually be done for today on the filming side. We'll get a little more done with his, but I'm not sure if I'm going to decide yet on if I'm going to use this color yarn for his heel flap, or maybe use tomorrow's colored yarn on his heel flap. And then the reason why I kind of like that idea is there'll be a little bit of a difference besides sizes between ours, so it'll be easier to be like, oh, that's mine, that's his. So I have to think that through. Since I got it all done, I'm like, oh, okay. So I might just end up making his, like, taking this and making it into just another set of stripes. So have to decide on that. All right, so the question of the day is Christmas books. do you like Christmas books? I have a weird obsession with Christmas books, but then again, you might just think I have a weird obsession with Christmas. I buy them. We find them in thrift stores, in antique shops, in new bookstores. I buy new Christmas books a lot, and I don't have a ton, but I have a shelf of books, so maybe that seems like a lot to some. One of my favorites is this one right here. I almost read this every Christmas season. Ella Montgomery's Christmas story book. I don't know how this came about. I didn't find this until I was older. I used to read the Anne of Green Gables series all the time. So always have been a huge fan of Ella Montgomery, and I've always read her other books. And then, I don't know, 6 or so years ago, I discovered this one. So I don't every Christmas, but almost every Christmas, I end up reading through this. It's one of those ones where each chapter is a different Christmas story with different characters. So it's a pretty quick read. So one of my favorites, a book that I want to read, but haven't gotten to because Tolkien, he just takes longer to read. So when I see his name is on stuff, I look at it and it's always pretty. And I'm always like, I should read it, but I never get to it. But J.R.R. Tolkien's Letters from Father Christmas. I think it'd be a fun read. I haven't done it yet. I bought this for my husband a few years ago for Christmas because he loves Tolkien. So this is I need to read. And then if you want just like a kid story that covers like baby Jesus's birth, this is actually one of my favorite kids, just the Christmas story, baby Jesus being born. I like that it's true to the story, but it's very much put into it's worded very well for little kids to enjoy reading. So if you're looking for a good Christmas one, plus if you just want good Christmas book, there's so many good little kid Christmas books. I could have brought that whole stack over, but I was like, okay, just one from each section. And then this year, I would normally pick up a Christmas book at this point. But all year, I don't remember when the book came out. I'm sorry. I wish I could remember. But I haven't had it all year. So, let's see, does it say? Give me a minute, guys. Okay, so I think this came out last year because it's copyright 2020. But I started reading this. So this is not a Christmas book. I have had it on my shelf. Maybe I bought this last year then. And I've been wanting to read it. Like, it's been one of those books you're like, yes, I'm going to get there. And then another book comes up for some other reason. But Dead Man's Swamp by E.M. Chaffin. I'm loving it. This has been a super fun read. So maybe my new tradition will just be pick up a new book that I haven't ever read before. I doubt that. I'll probably go back to Christmas reads. And if I finish this, I still might try to squeeze that one in. We'll see. We'll see. But, yeah, it's been fun. I haven't gotten super far into it because life, it's been one of those like, okay, read a page, I gotta go do something. But this has definitely been a fun read. It's like, I haven't even got into it enough to be like, oh, it's, you know, creepy or it's this or it's that. But Dead Man's Swamp, I mean, that kind of has a creepy tone to it, right? So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. It's about homeschoolers, which I was homeschooled. And so it's kind of funny how relatable, weird, quirky things are in it that maybe wouldn't be noticeable if you weren't homeschooled. So, but that doesn't mean, if you weren't homeschooled, doesn't mean you won't enjoy it. Just, it's kind of a funny thing because not very many books are, the main characters aren't normally homeschooled. So anyway, so that's been fun, a fun read for me. And I'm hoping I'll get it finished this month. That's the plan. So you gotta tell me, do you have a favorite Christmas book? Oh, and one more book on Audible is Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, read by Jim Dale, is amazing. So if you've never actually picked up any of Charles Dickens' books and you kind of just want to be like, hey, I read one of his books, you don't have to physically read it with your eyes. You can read it with your ears and listen to it on Audible. And Jim Dale's voice is like my absolute favorite narrator on like across the board for Audible books. So if you do want just a fun read to maybe listen to while you're, knitting or working on other Christmas projects, that's a good one. It's actually not that long of a book. When I put it on the first time, I was actually surprised at how quickly I got through it. So yes, that is another recommendation if you're looking for a book to listen to. All right, so you're gonna have to tell me, what is your favorite Christmas books? Do you have a favorite Christmas book? Comment in the comment section down below. All right, let's add on some of this funky, is it yellow, is it green? We don't know, color onto my husband's socks. That's it. And because like I told you, I love books, I had to throw a few more in there. So one for your little bit bigger kids actually can read, Geronimo Stilton's A Christmas Tale. Really like that one. I think we have one other one of his, it's Christmas, that we also enjoy. I just know I've owned this one longer and we've read it more times. Then Twas the Evening of Christmas. That's another cool one. I love it, with the three wise men, and it's just a good one. And then another one is Charlie and the Christmas Kitty. It's just cute. We love Charlie. All his little books are cute. And a Christmas version of him is obviously the cutest. So, yeah, that's another fun one for little kids. Okay, guys, that is it for day 6. I hope you're having an amazing Merry Christmas season. That was a mouthful of words. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, and don't forget, tell me what your favorite Christmas books are, because I might need to go buy them and add them to my collection, because, I don't have enough Christmas books.